I'm Ken Gottry Jr., live on Main Street in Cambridge, in the house that my parents, Ken and Charlotte Gottry, lived in when they posed for Norman Rockwell's painting, Walking to Church. As you may know, Norman was big with taking photographs, and the technique he used was sort of like an old-fashioned Photoshop, where he would take photos and then he would use clothespins and attach them to the sides of his painting, so then he would be able to draw them in. Norman decided for one of his paintings he wanted a fire hydrant. My family ran the Cambridge Waterworks Company. Norman wanted a fire hydrant. My mother wanted to be on the cover of the Saturday Evening Post, so they came to an agreement, and that is a Cambridge fire hydrant. Actually, it's a very special Cambridge fire hydrant because back in the 1950s, our police would sit around the traffic light waiting for drunk drivers on the weekend. So people learned they could cut across Avenue A and then come back up the other side of the railroad tracks and avoid the police trap. Right where Avenue A meets the railroad tracks is a fire hydrant, and it was always getting hit, it was always getting cracked, so you can't see it in this picture, but we actually gave Norman a broken fire hydrant to put into his picture. One of the other photos that Norman took was trying to get all of the detail. You can see my mother's feet are up on books there, and if you look, those feet are exactly positioned the way someone would be in mid-stride. Throughout my life, I thought this was me, my sister Suzanne, and my cousin Jeff. Based on the 1953 time frame, it seemed like it could be us. And about 15 years ago, I went to a Norman Rockwell models reunion, and I met the real me. Evidently, my sister and I tried out for the role of children of Ken and Charlotte. We didn't make the cut, so Norman went and got some other people that he thought would be better representative of Ken and Charlotte's children. In 2013, down at Sotheby's, 3 of Norman Rockwell's paintings were sold. They were owned by Kenneth Stewart, and Stewart was, I believe you'd call him, the art director for the Saturday Evening Post. And as such, he would be the one that would tell Norman, this week or this month we're looking for this, we'd like that, and he would get to be the first one to see these paintings. So he ended up buying or keeping 3 of them, and that worked out fine, except he ended up with 2 children, and it was very difficult to divide them. So in December of 2013, the estate of Kenneth Stewart sold 3 of the Rockwell paintings. The most famous one, Saying Grace, sold for a record $46 million. The middle one, The Gossips, sold for $8.5 million. And the one with my family in it sold for $3.2 million. My sister Suzanne and I went down to Sotheby's to stand there to be part of seeing it move on to the next generation. That's it.